Lady Swire. Looks like I got myself a new waifu. I just suddenly out of nowhere got like the best waifu of Arknights in one episode. Absolutely love this girl. She's literally like the Rento Saka of Arknights. I'm like, yes, ringlets, very snippy. Has a little heart, has that heart in there. She's a little tsundere. She's gotta hide that heart down there. And you see her walk away, and you see that charm mark on her back, and you're like, she's a good girl. Like, this is a good girl. I like her. But yes, episode 11 slash the third episode of Paris and Frosh. I don't know how I think officially Arknights is saying this is second season Paris and Frost episode 3, but there's still listings for 11 episodes. But anyway, love this episode. Really fantastic. Obviously, pretty much all focus on Chen. I mean, Chen and her relationship with those around her, and really seeing a massive change in her character, which I assumed was going to happen. This Chen hanging out with Amiya too much. Eventually, she's going to change her character. But no, it seemed like based on all accounts in this episode, there's this emphasis on the idea that she did regret the idea that she left Amiya behind. I mean, I don't quite get exactly what's going on in her mind with this particular situation, because like Swire's pointing out the idea that she left Rhodes Island. Like, she left them. And it's like, yeah, technically she did. Amiya honestly told her to leave. They were going into this area that was high in erignium, and Chen decided to fall back because Amiya said, we'll handle it, go on back. But I guess technically even back then, you had that sense that Shen wanted to continue on. She's seen what looked like Tala, and as we see in this episode, there's a significant reason behind that. I guess I should have called that with the fact they're both technically, dragonkin looking. But no, Amiya told her to fall back because there's erignium here. She can get infected. So Shen followed that order. But yes, there is that idea there that Amiya at that same time, when she's asking her, what are you going to do? Well, obviously, we're going to go in. We can't leave them behind. But Chen chose to fall back. She chose to fall back to her people. It does technically get into that larger subject here. Chen has always been duty-driven. For the greater good. This is my responsibility. Lungmin is my responsibility. That's just like the first meeting with her literally is her saying, basically, infected, get out of here. I don't like that. You knew that she didn't like it, but for the greater good. This is my responsibility. Isn't all these infected? This is how things work. This is how we function here. I have to go by this. And yes, based on all experiences that she's had with Amiya, that is changing. And additionally, those that are around her see that conflict in her, and they're basically trying to help her with it. Hoshigumi, girl, love her to death. Hoshigumi almost is the type that it seems like she's trying to push her back into line. Like, this has always been you. This has always been you. It's still kind of pointing out that idea of, don't act as if we're strangers. But additionally, still trying to push her to her duty. Like, she understands what Shen wants to do, but she doesn't just know. I guess it's the fact that she doesn't know that Chen is sort of wanting to change, and to kind of allow that. Don't push back too much. Keep her in line, help her. It's really an aspect of assisting her. Not that Hoshigumi is an evil person that wants Chen to continue to push away the infected. Not saying that, but more an idea that Hoshigumi knows what's important to Chen, doesn't understand yet that she wants to change, but wants to support her. That's the key thing. She wants to support her. Oh, this is what Chen wants to do. I'm going to keep supporting her. Oh, this is what she wants. It was kind of surprising this episode to actually see Hoshigumi actually not too happy with Chen, not too happy with her. I mean, that's obviously bringing in people that she adores, people that she loves, bringing those people into the mix and not informing her. It's more an aspect that Chen didn't tell her. Like, she didn't trust her with that information. Instead, chose to keep it a secret because she thought that Hoshigumi would essentially push back. But anyways, I'm just jumping right ahead in this episode. But yes, opening up the episode with Chen nearly getting hit by something, an explosion. And again, finding out later on that Swire basically rushed in there, helped her, took the fire from her to get her out of there safely. Again, super tsundere. Wakes her up by splashing water on her, telling her that she needs to give up command to me. I can handle the things better than you can. Let me take over things. But again, kind of getting that little sense in there over time about how it seems like, yes, there's probably a pride thing here, that Swire wants to actually take over command. She doesn't think that Chen is as good as she is. But there is a sense of they're like, almost like, is she wanting to take command from Chen because she doesn't want Chen to be in danger? Like, there is that sense of, like, she wants to take care of her. It's like, you're in danger, let me handle it. I can handle it better than you can. It's super cute. Like I said, it's so fast how much I fell in love with this character. She's super cute. Love the ringlets. Love the seiyuu. Everything is just kind of clicking for me. But yeah, it seems like an all indication with Hoshigumi showing up that this is a common thing. This happens all the time. They're always arguing about who's going to take command. But super good little segment. But yes, the whole beginnings of the struggle with Shin happens once she leaves the room. This is where we get confronted by one of the Rhodes Island people, and they're like, what about Rhodes Island? You left them behind? Well, so the rumors were true. What everybody says about Lungmin is true. That you guys will abandon people. You will sacrifice infected for your own gain. He's not wrong to what Lungmin does, but this is sort of a hurt to Chin in the idea that it seems like she's slowly changing. And this is almost like that being thrown in her face that this is what you guys do. And it kind of sucks. But still, she holds back Hoshigumi again because she understands that it's true. Chen knows that this is true. This isn't like he's saying a lie. You can't get angry. And he has every right to be angry because they technically left Amiya and the rest of them behind. Chose to come back here. Why? Because Lungmin is their responsibility. Not their fallen allies. Not to aid Amiya. It is to Lungmin. And it really sucks. Again, it is that struggle with the commander and what their responsibilities are and essentially trying to keep everything together because if she did stay with Amiya, if she did abandon her post, Lungmin would be worse off. There's almost this element that there might have been an expectation that she would abandon Lungmin and that would give them more time to actually destroy Lungmin. But she chose to return because that's her duty. Again, I love this kind of conflict stuff they're getting into. But yeah, that's when Shen gets a call from Fal, which apparently is one of the underlings of Hoshigumi. I guess Hoshigumi used to lead a clan of dudes, and then she went and joined Lungmin because they really look up to her. She's the boss. But yes, this Fall guy is in danger. He's not doing well. It's a trap, but they decide to go there anyways, where they find him, and his eyes are scorched out. He overheard Tala talking about a location they're going to go to, and he's done. He's toast. Don't even bother coming for me. But they do anyways, because again, showing that change in Chen. Probably any other time. Well, I don't know. There's a conflict. Is she wanting to go back there because Amiya has changed her so much to wanting to care for her people? Or would she, no matter what, still go there? Because again, this is somebody important to Hoshigumi. Technically, the reason why he's even a informant is because she was doing something for Hoshigumi. This is somebody that Hoshigumi knows. And he got infected. And rather than him getting kicked out, like we discard infected, he could become an informant. That way he can guarantee his citizenship. This was a good move by her. But there's also the other side of it. Was this a selfish thing for Chen in the idea that she chose this because she knew Hoshigumi would leave? I will lose my asset here. I will lose somebody that has defended my side. Again, it goes in that whole realm of how selfish Chen is, how much she changed, or how much this is really her true self that she just never really shows. I think it's probably the later. This idea that this is what she wants to do, and she's finally doing it. But yeah, that whole scene of Hoshigumi walking out with him was rough. It was super rough. There was a side of me that was hoping that he would just kind of survive anyhow, but no, he's toast. Which is technically kind of feeling a lot of what's building up towards the later part of this. It almost feels like there's this mixture of Shin becoming angry, but also this other side of her really starting to care for those around her. Obviously, that's seemingly a major point of this whole thing, because with Hoshigumi, it's literally like, take care of my partner. We have one person down, get here, take care of her. She's my partner. Not Hoshigumi is down, or we have soldier number 4569 is down, come over here and secure the target. No, it's literally, this is my partner. This isn't a number. But yes, they go to the location that Tala had apparently mentioned. It could be a trap. I think it was planted. It's kind of one of those things where I think Tala probably said that for him to be able to hear it and left him to live, because Tala wanted Shen to go back their home. That was literally what the place was Shen's father's place. And it seems like all accounts based on the photo and everything, it seems like either Shen is directly related to Tala, which I kind of assumed based on their race. But again, I think it's kind of going that realm of what I think about Amiya and Frost Nova. Is it might be this idea that Shen and Tala are just of the same race. There maybe were both orphans that were brought in by their father. Because Shen doesn't like their father. Like, she's just breaking open the gate and walking in, and Oshigumi's like, Question, do you hate your dad? She's like, he wasn't a dad. That man wasn't a father. Which kind of implies this idea that Shin was brought here, then eventually she, went to study abroad. But this idea that maybe she was adopted by her father, along with Tala, and maybe they were adopted because they showed potential to power. And maybe Tala was what he actually wanted, because obviously we see now Tala is crazy OP, but they could have been adopted for the sake that they could be powerful. And Tala was probably the one that he wanted. But yes, she goes and looks around and eventually finds the photo, which looks like it's cracked, so it kind of implies this idea that probably Tala came there, seen the photo, again, implanted that information to the informant, and then left. Like, she wanted Shin to see this, which makes me wonder if Tala is trying to connect to Shin. Maybe eventually we'll have that moment where she confronts Shin and says, join me. We're the same. You don't like this place. You obviously see that there's terrible things. And that's kind of the... I can already see this coming. Like, this is definitely something that's building into something. I really do feel like with everything that happened this episode with Shin, is that idea that kind of showing her that she wants to help the infected. But it's not like Anya, where she wants to help the infected and everybody be happy together, but more so that you've been discarding these people for so long, and you're losing them, and you're not able to protect them, and you want to protect them. You obviously know this place is wrong, just like me. You obviously don't like how things are run here, just like me. Come join me. I could totally see, by the end of this, Tala is telling Shin, come join me. You obviously don't like what you're doing. But we'll see. But yeah, they go to reclaim LGD, which first they go to the Posse Plaza, which apparently is property of Swire's family. Make sure to take care of my piano. Yeah, we'll try. We're facing resistance. I'll see what I can do. It's super good. Like, again, all these little moments with her and Swire were super good in this episode. I want to do like a hyper cut and just post on Twitter. It's super good stuff. But no, eventually Hoshigumi has to protect Shin as this explosion happens. She shields her. Good morning. Your third time you're waking up this morning. I totally thought they were flagging the heck out of Hoshigumi. They had this whole stupid thing of like, I'm holding this thing up. Just get out of here. I'll hold it up. Let me count to 3. And like, just let her break the concrete or something like that. Let's move on from here. Let's not try to death flag Hoshigumi out of nowhere. But no, they're fine. But no, it was really good because it kind of is something to push Hoshigumi down to a weakened state, to show that Shin isn't willing to walk away from her, that she does truly care for Hoshigumi, which we get that sense throughout the entire series. Like, these two are inseparable. And yes, Hoshigumi has always been her shield, but it's more in emphasizing the idea that Shin is willing to say, no, I'm not leaving people behind. That's the key thing. Yeah, I can go back to my people. They're probably fine. We all know they're fine. But it's more the idea of choosing Hoshigumi over duty. Choosing her partner, who has always protected her, to finally protect her. It's really good. It was really sweet. But that cuts to the final scene where after she tells somebody to come get Hoshigumi, which again was super sweet. She has like this little brief moment of kind of walking around in the area, and it's kind of one of those things where it's kind of humanizing Shin. And there's parts of it that kind of doesn't make any sense to me, but at the same time, it kind of is a collation of everything, it seems like. Is idea that having this conversation with Swire. And Swire kind of makes her little jokes about, I'm going to charge Lungmin for all the damage you guys done. You're going to get it, basically. And then kind of quickly shifting to, again, Shin sort of just talking about casually about the sandwich shop. Pointing out, you remember that place next to there? Let's go there sometime. I'll buy you anything. Well, I'm going to charge. I don't want to eat anything that you buy me. Oh, we'll just charge the chief. That's fine. But Swire specifically says, I heard that you ran out on Rose Island. You ran out. It's worded as ran out of Rhodes Island, or like you left Rhodes Island. I think what they're basically saying, I think it's a bad translation or just a mistypo. I'm assuming what she's saying there is that you left Rhodes Island. Like, you left them behind. I heard that you left them behind. And why would you do that when you technically wanted their help? But I think based on like what happened at the very beginning of the episode, or at least the end of last episode, is that she at least understands that Shin doesn't like the idea that she left Anya behind. Like, she's calling out to Anya and telling her where to go next. She's still obviously concerned about what's happening with Rhodes Island. But Swire claims that she's going to pick up their mess, which I'm assuming that means that Swire is heading over to meet up with Rhodes Island, which is great, because I want to see Swire in action so badly. But I think this is where we're sort of getting that sense of the difference between how Swire sees things and how Shin sees things. telling her out of the kindness of my heart, humph, it's not like I'm telling you because I want to, humph, is that life is precious. That to stop chasing after things and running out to the front line and risking your life. It kind of shows that idea that, yes, Squire does care for Shin, but additionally, it kind of gives me that hint that the idea that she sees things differently. She kind of sees things how Shin is starting to see things. That you should care for those around you. Stop this rushing out there for this duty, for this sake, for this responsibility that you think you have. Which again, like I said earlier, is that conflict that I really see in Shin's character, in the idea that it's actually a good thing that she's trying for order, trying for responsibility, and knowing that this is how things function, and to make sure it doesn't fall apart. She can't just rush out there with Amiya. She has this responsibility here. She has all of these lives over here that she's responsible for. She can't technically just willy-nilly chase after Amiya and her people. That's a few people over here versus thousands over here. It's a heartbreaking struggle that she's facing, but at the same time, it is a cool change for her, because I think moment by moment decisions will change because of it. So, yeah, great episode. In the end, all that said, good episode. Really enjoyed it. Again, I love Swire. I really, if she ever pops back up to Arknights, somebody needs to like DM me or something like that to remind me to roll for her. Maybe she's on a banner right now because of this show. I doubt it. But yeah, that's my thoughts on episode 3. I want to say 11 again. Episode 3 of Arknights Perish in Frost. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. As always, if you did, make sure to hit that like button down below. Comment. Let me know what you think of the episode. Additionally, if you're new to the channel, make sure that subscribe button's got my content. I do news, reviews, first impressions, top list. If it's anime, it's pretty much here. Additionally, if you like this content and you want to support it more, I have a Patreon link, tips link, super thanks, membership button down below. Greatly appreciate what it does. And y'all take care.